Hello, welcome to Pipefy, the work management process platform. In this video, we are going to present the main benefits that can be added to your travel request process within the Pipefy. After work with some companies lead off their segments, we raised some of the main problems of this process, such as difficulty in prioritize the demands, non-standardized entry information in the process, difficulty in managing travel costs, lack of visibility of the total budget available. With Pipefy, you will be able to prioritize the requests according value, urgency, or due date, automatically notify all the stakeholders about the request, follow the travel status, gain visibility of the travel total costs, and connect it to other processes such as accounts to pay or refunds. This is the page of your organization, where you can find all the pipes that are the names that we call the process inside of it. On the left side, you can also find the databases that we are going to use to record information for all kinds of process, the reports on your organization level, and the automations that are going to reduce the number of manual and recurrent activities to do in your process. Now let's take a look inside the travel requests pipe to understand a little bit more about it. First thing we can see when opening a new process in Pipefy is the Kanban view, where each column represents one phase of your process, and this step must be followed to deliver the final output. This way, we can go along with a new request since the first step until completed. To start a new request, we can open the Start form here that has some information that needs to be completed in order to start a new demand. And we can also share this information in a public form. This public form can be shared with people outside your organization that do not have access to Pipefy. Assuming that I am someone in your company that needs to create a new travel request, I will complete all the information here in order to create this new demand. The first field that we have is to select who is the requester for this new demand. So, in this option, we create a connection with our database. This way, I can just select the option from our database with the information regarding the employee that is requesting this new demand. The second field that we have here is to insert the travel purpose of this trip. And this field is a mandatory field. We can see that with this little sign. This helps us to standardize the information input to start a new opportunity. After complete all these fields, I will send this form to our pipe in order to complete this new request. Moving back to Pipefy, we are going to receive all the new requests in our inbox phase. Each request will be represented in our pipe for a new card. So let's open this card to see what kind of information we have here. On the left side, always the information that was inputted in some previous phase, and at the end here we also have a history. So once you move this card to the next phases of your process, you're going to have a history of all the information that was inputted in each step of your process. On the right side, it's always the information that needs to be completed in the current phase of your process. So in this case, we have a request ID that can be used for tracking and a responsible that is going to take care of this new demand. Once we receive a new demand, we also have an automatic email that is going to be sent to the request. So let's take a look in this email. This email can be configured with your company's logo, and using some dynamic fields, we can personalize each email for each one of the requesters with the information that you want to send. Moving back to our process, once I completed all the information that I have in my first phase, I can move to the next step, the analysis phase of the travel request process. In this phase, we are going to get the quotation for some items based on the information that was inputted in our start form. So this way, we are going to select which is the company airline for this new demand, how much for transportation, the hotel name, how much for hosting, and for the other options based on the information that was provided in the start form. Once we completed this information, we can also move to the approbation phase. In this phase, we are going to have an approver that can be automatically assigned based on the phase of our process, and this approver is going to see if this request can be approved. In case of no, we're going to have some conditional fields that are going to appear to input the approval reason. And once this information was updated, this card is going to be automatically moved to the reject phase of our process. But if this request is approved, we can set yes, and we can also see if there is a request advance. In case of yes, we're going to have also a conditional field to insert how much in advance can be provided for this new request. Moving forward, in the documentation phase, we are going to have some fields to insert the information about the reservations, the transportation, the hotel, and the car. Once we have all the documents in this phase, we can move our card to the waiting the trip phase. And once this card gets into this phase, we are going to wait for the due date of the start day for the trip gets completed. And once this date gets completed, this card will be automatically moved to the on the trip phase. Once the card gets into this phase, the end date of the trip is going to be automatically updated based on the information provided on the start form. And once this due date also gets completed, this card is going to be automatically moved to the completed phase. Now, let's take a look inside the reports that were created based on this process. So we have three examples here: the travel period, the total amount for the trips, and the travel this month. So this number can be visualized at the total cards inside of this report, or in case we have some information with numbers, we can also set the sum, the medium, the maximum, or the minimum for each one of the requests. Now let's take a quick look inside the Travel This Month report to understand a little bit more about the configuration. Each line here represents for us one register, and we can set all the columns with the information that we need just selecting the options here. So let's say that I also want to see the travel transportation. Once I select this option, we're going to have another column here with this information. And on the left side, we can set all the filters. So in this case, I select that the start date must be the current month. And once I select this option, my filter is going to be applied, and I just need to save this report. And those reporters can be also exported to create some Excel files and dashboards with this information. I hope you enjoyed this video and this presentation. If you get interested in this process or want to see some modifications on it, please get in touch with one of our consultants or through our chat. Thank you